Coming up on OU Nightly, Pope Francis makes history addressing the U.S. Congress. Oklahoma Senator James Lankford reacts to the pontiff's message. And OU Stadium expansion is going to be something else. All this and more on OU Nightly. Thanks for joining us. Pope Francis, in a historic address to Congress this morning, challenged America.
The pontiff asked Congress and the country to embrace undocumented immigrants, join a global campaign against climate change, and to fight poverty in our country. He also called for a fairer world economy, the abolition of the death penalty, the protection of ethnic and religious minorities, the outlawing of arms trading, and the protection of family. The speech underscored the emergence of Pope Francis as a global political leader rather than just a moral or spiritual voice.
And the Pope's congressional address was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for all members of Congress, including Senator James Lankford, who spoke to OU Nightly's Tyler Jones about the historic day on the Hill.
He seemed to be very reserved on some issues. There were quite a few issues that he brought up, but he would bring up issues in a very general way and then pull back. He wasn't getting into a lot of the policy areas. It's very clear where his philosophy is in some of these areas, that he's very focused on poverty, he's very focused on family issues, he's focused on immigration. But
most Oklahomans are Protestant. You are a lifelong Baptist, am I correct?
Right. Yes.
The Pope is the head of the Catholic Church, but what do you hope that the people of Oklahoma learn from his visit and his messages?
Yeah, I would hope that they would focus on a couple of things. One is obviously the family message that he has, but also a faith perspective. There are a whole group of people now that believe that anyone who has an opinion about faith should really be pushed out of the public square in the conversation because their perspective comes from a faith perspective, and they want to keep all views really on a secular perspective and not bring faith into it. I think that violates everything that we are as a country that's based on the free exercise of religion, but also the basic principle that you can't separate faith from who you are. As you live your faith and your most core beliefs, it affects your policies, it affects what you think, it affects how you treat your family and such.
And to take a look at the Pope's schedule, he left Washington for New York this afternoon, where he has a full schedule ahead of him tomorrow, including an all-religion service at Ground Zero and celebrating Mass tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden.
You know, I'm really happy with all this live coverage we've been getting on the Pope. This is truly a historic time.
It really has been a historic day, and he did land in New York about 30 minutes ago. So what's the weather looking like for him, Sawyer?
Yeah, so upper 80s, mid to upper 70s tomorrow. So it's looking fairly nice out there. But taking a look back here at Oklahoma's weather, currently outside right now, we're looking at 83 degrees. Winds still out of the southeast at 16 miles an hour, and then that humidity is steady at 46%. Your evening planner for tonight, 5 p.m. at 86 degrees, mostly sunny skies, maybe a few high clouds here and there. As we get to 7 p.m. and 10, we're looking at 79 and 72, mostly clear skies and those east winds from 5 to 10 miles per hour. Now coming up in weather, this is the first full day of fall, so I'll let you know how it's been. Above average temperatures throughout the rest of next week, and are we going to have any more rain chances? I'll give you more of that up in weather. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sawyer. And death row inmate Richard Glossop's attorneys are accusing the Oklahoma County District Attorney on intimidating a witness. Glossop was sentenced to death for hiring Barry Van Treese to kill an Oklahoma City motel owner. Witness Michael Scott claims he overheard Sneed bragging that he set up Glossop for the crime. Deputies arrested and interrogated Scott on Tuesday for relatively minor interactions. And Hunter McKee joins us now in the News Center with an update on the stampede from Saudi Arabia. Hunter?
Thanks, guys. 700 people are dead and 800 injured by a human stampede in Minya, Saudi Arabia. This was during the annual Hajj, also known as the Journey to Mecca. Worshippers were about 2 miles away taking part in one of a series of rituals. A sudden surge in the crowd caused many to fall, which started this deadly stampede. This is the biggest catastrophe since 1990, when more than 1,400 died. And breaking news from Seattle this afternoon as a bus collision kills 4 and leaves 12 critically injured. The impact occurred on the Aurora Bridge and was between 2 tour buses. Other vehicles on the road were affected by the initial collision, which caused this pileup. Authorities say they are unsure on what caused the collision, but they are investigating the scene. Earlier this year, there was a U.S. security breach from an Office of Personnel Management. Officials thought only 1 million fingerprints had been stolen. Well, it turns out they were wrong. Yesterday's update revealed that the hackers took 5.6 million fingerprints from government employees. Intelligence officials are pretty sure the hack came from China. That's what's happening around the world. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Hunter. And still ahead on OU Nightly.
Reports show our state is getting bigger, but not in the way you would prefer.
And our stadium is bringing big bucks to the city of Norman. Straight ahead on OU Nightly. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Aaliyah Covington joins us now with Health Beat. And Aaliyah, the West Nile virus keeping health officials on alert. What's going on?
Yes, that's right, Bijan. One more Oklahoman has died, bringing the state West Nile death toll to 4. The Oklahoma State Department of Health reports the latest death was a Kingfisher County resident. Previous deaths were reported in Rogers, Stephen, and Carter counties. The virus is spread generally through mosquito bites. Well, fall is just beginning, and so is the dreaded flu season. The CDC reports a typical adult could contract 2 or 3 colds each year, but not to worry. The 2013 Cochrane Review reported that an increase in zinc-rich foods can help boost your immune system to ward off the common cold. Some zinc-rich foods include lobster, almonds, and chicken. And since the fair's in town, Oklahomans are getting their fix of fried food favorites. But according to a new study, we may want to pass on the deep-fried Twinkies. Trust for America's Health ranked Oklahoma 6th in adult obesity. The CDC reported that 33% of the state's adults were obese in 2014, which is up from 32.5% in 2013. Health professionals throughout Oklahoma encourage families to eat healthy and engage in regular physical activities. But maybe parents should get some health tips from their kids. A study in the medical journal Pediatrics showed that apples are among the most popular fruit for American children. The study showed that apples account for about 20% of fruit intake for those ages 2 to 19. Other fruits consumed include apple juice, citrus juice, and bananas.
Well, you know what they say, an apple a day keeps the
doctor away.
So.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Thanks, Aaliyah. Appreciate
No problem.
it. And still ahead on OU Nightly, a panel of judges were at the OKC State Fair. Find out why. And Sawyer is standing by with weather. Sawyer?
Yeah, that's right, guys. I'll give you a look at what's coming up in weather right after the break. Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Sawyer Wells with your OU TV weather brief. Looking at our visible satellite outside right now, we've had a few high clouds in the Oklahoma area, and you can see those start to trend up to the northeast near New York, so the Pope will have to worry about a couple clouds here and there for tomorrow. Now looking at our current temps outside right now, 83 degrees here in Norman, and that's the general across the entire state, mid to upper 80s, with Guyman being the cold spot out there at 77 degrees. Now looking at the almanac, today we reached a high of 86, that was a little bit earlier in the day, and a low of 67, and we are still above average for this time of year, 82 and 60 being the average for this time of year. Now overnight lows in the mid to low 60s, 64 degrees here in Norman, 64 in Oklahoma City, and then as we look across for the afternoon highs tomorrow, 86 again here in Norman and Oklahoma City, so those temperatures will continue throughout the rest of next week. Taking a quick look at Tropical Depression Ida out in the Atlantic Ocean. She's just going to kind of sit out there, may turn into a tropical storm here in the next couple days, so we'll keep an eye on her. And then don't forget the total lunar eclipse is coming up on Sunday night, 8:07 when the eclipse begins. It's going to be mostly partly cloudy, some broken clouds here or there, 75 degrees, 71 again at totality whenever we will see the red moon. And then taking a look here quick at Soonercast, 84 degrees it has here tomorrow at 4:45 p.m. And this dry line will continue to push through the state as we go on into the later parts of tomorrow, bringing us up a little bit, keeping it dry outside, not too humid. 85 degrees in Oklahoma City, 82 up in Tulsa. Now looking at that 7-day forecast, Thursday 86, Friday 86. We're looking at sunny skies throughout the weekend and the earlier parts of next week, and the lows in the mid to lower 60s as we continue on through this weekend into next week. Monday 87, Tuesday 87, and 64 for Monday night and Tuesday night. So guys, it's looking pretty nice out there. Get out inside and enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah. Thanks, Sawyer. By next football season, the construction on the stadium's south end zone will not only make for a beautiful field, but make room for more fans.
That's right. OU Nightly's Courtney Boggs is live out there to tell us what's to come. Courtney?
Today I toured the new Stadium Preview Center located on Campus Corner at 730 Asp Avenue. The facility is complete with Sooner football history, models of the new stadium suites, and interactive digital images of what the stadium will look like. Athletic Director Joe Castiglione believes that the upgrade will have a positive impact on Norman's economy.
The jobs created by the construction itself affects, the economy, and certainly we're buying goods and services, so the retail is also improved by the construction. But once done, it will accommodate even more people, so you have more people coming to Norman.
The project means a lot to Norman's economy, but that's not all. OU Nightly's Tyler Jones looked deeper into the impact this project will have here at OU.
Coming down and excitement fills the air. The newest expansion to Oklahoma Memorial Stadium began just a few months ago, and by the beginning of next football season, the south end zone will be looking a lot like this. But the added seats don't just magically appear. Dr. Bob Doffenbach explains how many jobs have been created from the construction.
That the impacts of construction spending in terms of jobs tend to produce about 50% higher total impact. So if you're talking 700 jobs, let's say, well, 50% higher would take you above the 1,000 level.
The approximately 1,000 jobs created for this construction won't last long. Construction will finish up and crews will pack up and move on. But the seats that they added to the stadium will have a lasting impact on the city and the university.
You get people coming from all over. Some of them spend extra time here, extra dollars in not just Norman, but Oklahoma City. So that's the imported part, which makes the big differential in the economic impact for the area.
The crews are hard at work getting preliminary construction done for the support beams, and once the final whistle for the season has been blown, they will move in and begin connecting the south end zone to the rest of the stadium. Tyler Jones, OU Nightly.
As you can see, there's a lot of action going on with Sooner sports. Carson Williams is standing by to tell us more. Carson?
Yeah, Courtney, I'm excited for that new stadium. Those guys that actually play in the stadium, though, are off this week. Find out what they're doing with their time off. And we have the latest news on the incident from a Texas high school football game. Sports is straight ahead. Welcome aboard. I'm Carson Williams, and this is OU Nightly Sports. Down in Texas, there's finally resolution with the high school football players who targeted a referee during a game. John Jay assistant coach Mac Breed resigned Thursday after he was accused of directing two players to blindside umpire Robert Watts. According to an outside of the lines report, Breed admitted to the school principal that he ordered the two players to target Watts out of anger. And the Sooners are on a bye week this week, but it looks like there's something going on at the stadium. OU Nightly's Clark Sachs has the update. Clark, what's going on, man?
Hey Carson, Sooners have a bye week, so we got an empty field here at Owen Field, so we decided to come out and play a game of media flag football. But here's what some of the players are doing with their time off.
Really focus on airing out the mental errors. Just a couple of mistakes here and there from the game that we made. I mean, we played pretty well, but there's stuff we'd like to have back and iron out.
Oh, Tap went to the fair last night. Tap, you want to tell him about the fair?
This week we're going to practice Monday through Thursday. Later in the week, get some extra work on West Virginia.
The Sooners will be back in action here on Owen Field next Saturday against West Virginia for an 11 a.m. kickoff. Clark Sachs, OU Nightly Sports.
Baylor has suspended assistant coach Jeff Lebby after he violated the NCAA rules when he attended Oklahoma's game against Tulsa last weekend. Lebby will miss the first half of the OU Baylor game, November 14th in Waco. Oklahoma soccer returns to the field against Texas Tech and Iowa State this weekend. The Sooners are coming off a 2-0 shutout against the 18th-ranked Arizona State Sun Devils last week. And Sooner volleyball dropped their Big 12 opener to Texas Tech last night, OU's first loss against the Red Raiders in 10 years. The ladies are now a game below 500 on the season at 6-7. All the talk today in the NFL is about Seahawks safety Cam Chancellor. After sitting out training camp, preseason, and the two regular season matchups, Chancellor announced his return to the team yesterday. The Seahawks have started the season 0-2. And finally, it's our play of the day. This left fielder makes a catch so good that it fools the announcer. Chicago Cubs outfielder Kyle Schwarber with the amazing grab. But the Brewers would go on to win the game 4-1. And guys, I don't know how he missed that catch, the announcer, but you know, he needs to, you know, maybe pay attention a little bit more next time.
You have one job.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
I mean, it was a great catch, so.
Yeah,
it was
true.
a great catch.
It was.
I couldn't have got that. But thanks, Carson. Appreciate it. And still to come on OU Nightly, we'll have another look at that 7-day forecast.
And we will talk about one of my favorite traditions at the Oklahoma State Fair, and we promise it's sure to be sweet. Straight ahead on OU Nightly.
I'm Rebecca Walters at the OU Nightly Update Desk. NASA astronaut Lee Morin will speak tomorrow about OU's new Galileo's World exhibit. It's at 1 o'clock at the National Weather Center. According to a recent study by the Association of American Universities, 18% of female undergraduates at the University of Texas in Austin reported being victims of sexual assault since enrolling. And a total lunar eclipse will include a supermoon on Sunday night, a combination that won't appear again for 18 years. Be sure to like us and follow OU Nightly on Facebook. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Rebecca. You may have noticed these colorful and unique designs lining Main Street, and now the city wants more. The Norman Public Arts Board and Bike Rack project is moving forward with Phase 3, adding bike racks like these to other parts of Norman, including campus corner artists interested in submitting a design have until October 12th. The winner will receive a $200 honorarium. For more information and the design guidelines, visit normanarts.org.
And the presidential race shifts to Oklahoma City this week, and the long-anticipated fair event is finally here. Republican frontrunner Donald Trump tomorrow will be speaking at the OKC State Fair. Trump will address the crowd at 5:30 on the bandshell stage on the Oklahoma City Fairgrounds. And if you'd like to be there, you still have to buy a ticket, but the speech is free.
Healthy Sooners will put on its annual fun run and 5K race this Saturday, beginning at 8 a.m. It will start and finish at the Houston Huffman Center. The races are free to the Norman community, but those who participate are encouraged to bring 2 non-perishable food items to donate to the Regional Food Bank of Oklahoma. It's one of the State Fair's biggest events, the Pie Baking Contest. A panel judged more than 100 pies, cakes, cheesecakes, and cobblers. Experts say the crust is what sets apart a ribbon winner for a good pie. Bethany's Rosalie Seebeck took home first place with her Pina Colada Icebox Pie. It has a mix of pineapple, coconut, whipped cream, and cream cheese.
Man, these judges, over 100 pies. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. You know, I love pies, but 100 of them? I don't know if I could do it.
Right. I think I could take it.
Yeah.
I think I could.
What do you think, Sawyer?
I don't know. I just went to the fair for the first time ever, so got some of their chocolate-covered bacon. Pretty good.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, did a bunch of fair food, gained a couple pounds here and there, but it was worth it.
Right, if it's something that the fair does not lack, it's unhealthy, great tasting food.
Great food.
Awesome.
Great food.
Can we take a look at that 7-day real quick?
Yeah, real quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at the lunar forecast for the total lunar eclipse coming up on Sunday night. Whenever the eclipse begins, we won't be able to see it here because the moon has to rise above the horizon first. But we're looking at 75 degrees around that time, 9:47 when the moon reaches its totality, which is where it's going to be bright red along with that supermoon. Is 9:47, and that's going to be 71 degrees. And then as the eclipse ends, we'll just be around 70, and that's right around 11:30 at that night. Now, one more look at that 7-day forecast. 86 today and tomorrow, and then we continue this trend on into the weekend and earlier parts of next week. 84 degrees on Saturday, 86 on Sunday. You're not seeing too many clouds in the sky. Those will stay in the low to mid 60s. So it's looking really nice. Get outside, enjoy the weather, go to the fair. You know, get outside and enjoy it.
Definitely enjoying the fair. Carson, you weren't here when we were talking about the pies, but I know you're a big pie fan.
I'm a big pie guy. You know, apple pie is my favorite. There's nothing better than a good warm apple pie.
Hey, my mom cooks a good one. Maybe you can come over.
Yeah.
sometime.
Can I come over later?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Definitely.
sweet.
We can do that.
Awesome.
I'm a big cheesecake fan.
Oh, yeah?
Cheesecake is probably my favorite.
Cheesecake
my
Factory?
absolute favorite, yeah. So if they have cheesecake at the fair, that's where I'll be this weekend.
Love it. And it's going to be 80s all week, so the fair is going to be great.
Looking looking good for the fair. Get out, ride some rides, eat some good food.
See Donald Trump.
See Donald
Trump.
Trump.
Be there tomorrow.
That's going to be a
There
big
you
event.
go.
So that's a big event. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, and thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night, live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.